Well, some fans at last night's NFL matchup between the Ravens and the Steelers raising quite a few eyebrows, sticking up for Ray Rice with what they wore, many of them women wearing his jersey, number 27, saying that he deserves another chance.
I still think he's a good person who made one big mistake.
There's good parts about him. There's good parts about every man.
There's going to be speculations always, but you can't tell what happened in their relationship or within their marriage.
Judge Alex Farr is the host of TV's Judge Alex. Ari Zoldan is the CEO of Quantum Networks. Gene Marks is a business owner and CPA. All right, guys, Judge, let me start with you because there's actually been a lot of talk about the punishment that Ray Rice received from the judge.
Or lack of,
because many people thought that it was lenient. But what do you make of these fans wearing the jersey and saying, second chance is what the American spirit is all about?
I'm okay with second chances. I mean, everybody makes a mistake, but that doesn't mean there aren't consequences for your mistakes, especially something like this. And I understand some of the points that they made, because some of them said, well, she shouldn't have hit him. If you hit a guy, you better expect to get hit back. One, I don't believe that's true. You shouldn't hit a guy clearly, but you shouldn't expect to get hit back either, because in this situation, it's not like a man in the elevator. If a man in the elevator, even a small man, had hit Ray Rice and Ray Rice knocked him unconscious, nobody would bat an eye. Nobody would say anything. They say self-defense, and you know what? You started it. But it's different when you're in a relationship. When it's a wife, it's not a threatening person. It's not somebody who you don't know what their motive is. It's your wife, the love of your life. And he could have restrained her. He could have held her in a bear hug. He could have held her hand. He could have acted like who was it? Jay-Z did, where he got assaulted by his
wife's sister, and he basically sat there and did nothing. But Ari, when I listen to those comments, I'm thinking to myself, do people not fully understand the scope of domestic violence?
Yeah, I don't think they really understand what it is, and I think they're so infatuated with being in touch with a celebrity or really passionate about football that they don't get it. And I think that talk about our society, if this is becoming the norm to get behind celebrities or football stars that are apparently being doing a cool act, and I've seen a lot of this stuff on radio and TV, people talking about it, and you have the demographic. What's fascinating is that you have this young demographic, and these football stars are their idols.
Right. But I mean, I don't know what more they have to see, Gene. Well, but Gretchen, I mean, we saw this video. He knocked her out cold.
But let's talk about second chances. I mean, even the woman that was interviewed was saying about giving somebody a second chance. I mean, I have a lot of clients that run smaller companies, and they have issues with their employees. This kind of thing happens. There's drug abuse. There's domestic violence. I mean, really bad things. Now, in the case of the NFL, this is a public figure setting an example to do what they had to do. I think was the right thing to do, because it's a very serious thing, and I think they should be doing it more with some other NFL players as well.
Gene, with all due respect, sorry to cut in here.
It's okay.
With all due respect, and you talked about second chances. You throw a punch at, you hit somebody. There's no second chance.
Well,
I think it's very black and white. You raise your
don't throw his entire career.
100% should. If you
disagree.
If you pick your hand up at another human being, it's zero policy. The consequence.
If you're endangering somebody like other employees in your company, that's one thing, okay? But if somebody does make a mistake, and I see this,
it's not a mistake. If I forget to put the Coke tap, the Coke cap on the Coke and don't put it on, that's a mistake.
My perception from seeing
programs, there's help. I don't think
there could be with that,
but that's reality.
Back to the fact that they were wearing the jerseys and seemingly thinking that there wasn't that much wrong with
that's sick.
That made me feel, Judge, like maybe they thought that domestic violence is something that just happens once and they don't go home and it's not a repeat offender type of a situation.
The fact that he did this in a public place makes you say, well, wait a minute, if that's what he's willing to do in public, what's going on at home? Now, the counterpoint to that is, being a judge, I know people who have a history of doing that don't usually have a clean record. So it might have been an isolated drunken incident.
Well,
but the NFL and the prosecutors did not do him any favor by giving him a slap on the wrist, because now everybody wants blood, and they should have prosecuted him.
Got to go, guys, but great discussion. Thanks so much.